guys, so I recorded the first two parts of this video series last week. Today is July 31st, so the Common App is not yet open for the new year, but I am going to be continuing with tips on writing the Common App essay, tips on writing your supplement essays, and supplemental materials, how to submit those, what you should be submitting for those, stuff like that. Okay, so I'm gonna first start out with talking about how I wrote my Common App essay, and then I'll just like sprinkle in a few tips during my storytelling process. So I think I definitely touched on this a little bit in my how I got into Stanford video, but the way that I went about writing my Common App essay was basically like, so I started out just like coming up with ideas, like a huge list of just all these different ideas. What I mean by ideas is like anecdotes. You definitely don't have to like put anecdotes into your essay. I just felt like for me that was what I wanted to do. I feel like anecdotes are a really good way to make your essay interesting and to have your admissions officer like connect with you more, because it's more of like a personal thing that you're writing about. So that's why I wanted to write an anecdote, at least like start out my essay with an anecdote. Yeah, and so I would be just like doing whatever, and then I'd think of an idea and I'd write it down really fast so I wouldn't forget it. Usually that would be in my notes app on my phone. That's really where I write down most things. Like literally the final idea that I actually ended up going with for my actual Common App essay, I thought of that like right before I was going to sleep one night at like 3 in the morning, and I was like, huh, I remember that happening in like 3rd grade. Let me write that down because that was a super interesting story. Yeah, and then so once I got like a list down of things that I could possibly write about, I would just like do free writes on each of them. So like free writes, for those of you that might not be in like the creative writing sphere, is like you're just supposed to write like unrestrained, like no filter, just write down anything that comes to mind. And sometimes to like help you out, you would probably like set a timer for like 5 minutes, so once the timer goes off you're not allowed to write anymore. So that, because a lot of times when you start a free write you are very hesitant, like, oh, like these first words are so important, I can't like fuck up, you know? So that timer is supposed to really like push you to like write things down as fast as you can. So yeah, that's kind of what I did for all of my, like every of my ideas that I came up with, even the shitty ones. Most of them ended up being pretty shitty ideas, but you know, this is all just like part of the process. Like I don't really think you can make your essay as good as you want it to be without having shitty ideas. Like you can write a decent essay, but without like the whole, I don't know, it's kind of like a guess and check process. Like you guess something and no, it's not right, so you move on to the next guess, and then finally like one of your guesses will be the best fit. Obviously they're not just like random guesses, but I don't know, yeah, you need like a little bit of experimentation in this process. Okay, and then, so then in like the end of August, early September, right before school was about to start, I picked my favorite one of these ideas. That's like when I stopped the idea free write process, and I just picked my favorite one. I also had like a few friends that I was close to read all of them and tell me which one was the best one. And then, or like not all of them, just like the top contenders for me at the time. They read like a few of them and then told me which one they thought would be the most interesting topic, and I like agreed with them, so that was good. And so I picked the Why Do Men Have Nipples topic that ended up becoming my final Common App essay. And so at first, like, I loved the opening of it. The opening virtually stayed untouched throughout this entire process. It was just the ending that was really bad, and I knew it was bad, but I didn't know how to change it, and it was such like a struggle because, oh my god, okay, it was like, it was about poetry throughout this whole thing, but I just like didn't really, like, it didn't come to a conclusion of any sort, and, or at least not like a conclusion I was proud of. I don't know, it was really weird and made not much sense at first. I don't even remember what it was like, but like, so I like kind of sat on it for a little while, and then one day I was just like, okay, I need to ditch my pride and just like literally erase the second half of the essay completely and just write something new, because I feel like my whole fear of editing, that comes from me being too like emotionally attached to my work to like throw it out, you know? But that's really what like helped me a lot. I just like pressed the backspace button on that whole second half that I didn't like, and then I rewrote it. So that's when like the whole like actually writing in lines of poetry like throughout it kind of dispersed with some actual prose in it. Like, okay, so that whole format, that's when that came in. After that, I edited it a little bit, but not that much after that. So after I finished that rewriting of it, I again had some close friends read it and tell me what they thought about it. On having other people read your essay, I am personally of the opinion that you shouldn't have like a ton of people read your writing. The same goes for supplement essays. I think you should just have a few close friends that know you really well and that are of your same generation, because, okay, the thing about having parents and guidance counselors read your essays are that like they obviously write in a different tone than you do, but your admissions officers want to read your writing in your own tone because they want to like think that a kid wrote it, you know? They don't want like if it sounds too like highbrow intellectual that isn't reflected in the other writing samples in your application, then the admissions officer will obviously think that someone else wrote it for you, you know? So you still want to preserve your like 18-year-old tone while you're writing this. So that's personally why I chose to have like some of my friends that were like of a similar age as me read it. I also did have my English teacher read it, but that's just because I thought she was really chill and knew me really well. So yeah, I had a few friends read it and I had my English teacher read it, and that was basically it. Overall, I think just as like a guideline about how you want to go about picking your topic and like writing it in general, I think you want to walk the line of having a weird topic or having like an interesting topic to catch like the reader's attention. But you don't want to make it so weird that it comes off as gimmicky. I know Yale has like this whole blurb on their website about how we hate gimmicks and you are not gonna get in by writing some silly whatever. So like maybe that's why I didn't get in. But so that's why like you don't want to just write weirdly for the sake of being weird and catching attention. You just want to like make your essay stand out, because it won't help to write a boring essay, you know? But on the other hand, you don't want it to be completely meaningless. Like, you still need to like have it convey some sort of meaning about your experiences or about your life, right? So that's the line that I would walk along, at least, or like have that as my goal. Yeah, so I think that was pretty comprehensive on all the things I did when I was writing my Common App and all the things that I would suggest that you do while writing your Common App. I guess, yeah, my main tip would be to keep an open mind about this whole writing process. You don't just write it in one night, you like spend time on your writing. Also, don't be afraid to like completely toss ideas, and like don't think your hard work was like wasted, because every iteration of the essay that you write definitely helps you get to your final like form of it. Yeah, okay. So thanks for watching. I hope this is helpful. I'm going to be moving on to writing supplement essays now, because those are a bit different, a bit less open-ended. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, leave any comments down below if you have any questions. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Now I'm basically doing daily uploads. Wow, this is crazy. I never thought I would come back to this. Okay, bye!